Hello, hello. I was about to say
Hi.
party people, and I'm like, we're not doing a party today.
We could still be theoretically party people, though. Actually,
Yeah,
I do have a little celebration because the thing is that I promised myself when I launched One Mystery Treat that I would get myself a slice of cake, and I actually got myself two. Because while I was at the grocery store, I saw my favorite kind of cake that they like don't always have, so I was like, that could be the cake. And then I was like, wait a second, they might actually have the cake that's in the comic in the bakery section. And so I went and got it, and I've never actually had a milfoy before, but it's currently sitting in the fridge. And so at some point, I will, I guess, try it live on camera.
So, chat, for the first sprint, we should all get ourselves a treat.
Yes.
And for those who haven't, read One Mystery Treat and latest update. Didn't it update yesterday or the day before?
On Saturday.
Yes, it updated on Saturday.
I just realized my link was slightly broken. Hold on.
No.
Why did it do that?
Because it's a rude motherfucker. How is everybody's weekend? We have a Frere who very rarely graces us with his presence.
Oh, the sweet boy.
I also have a buddy. It's right there.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't have any buddies at the moment. Boo was doing a really proud sploot when I went to my room to grab something.
I need you all to know this cat performed, get over here, one of the top 10 anime betrayals in existence. Hello. Yes. Are you good? So, this is my cat. We got him for me as a kitten. He even had, he almost died because of a botfly. I saved his little life twice. He was my kitten and he loved me. And then the children started sleeping on their own. And now he is Michael's cat. And he lives for the children. He follows the children. He guards the children. He never cuddles with me anymore. The only time I get cuddles is if I force him. He has betrayed me.
Yeah.
But also he's letting me do this, so it's fine. The minute I let go, he's gonna bolt.
He's such a sweetie.
But also because he's a kid's cat, he's very gentle with his bolting. So as you can see, I could direct his bolt. He didn't just fling everywhere. So
yeah.
Top 10 anime betrayals. And now I have Artemis, who we got for Chris, but she is obsessed with me. I guess they just reflect our personalities, now that I say that.
Oh. Yeah, I got Boo impulsively for me, and then I got Luna for Boo because he was lonely. He was such a clingy little teenager. It was adorable. But it very much is like it kind of feels like Luna is my daughter-in-law. Where it took her so long to warm up to me. But she's so much better about people now, especially because I do a thing where anyone who comes into my room who's new, who meets them, gives them a treat, right? Because I want them to associate people with good stuff. Also, just in case of an emergency, I know that if a firefighter goes into my room, Boo is right in front of him. Boo is right there.
Boo said, save me.
Yeah, and now I'm pretty confident that Luna would also come up to them, being do you have food? But yeah, no. She has warmed up quite a bit, and she does really like kids, though, is the thing. Like, she has never had issue with like little kidderonis. It's more adults that she's like, I don't particularly care for you unless you're feeding me. Um, but yeah, I do a thing where like I've been training Boo like to do little tricks. Like now he jumps on the bed with us. And but the thing is that when I train him, I have to also give Luna a treat just for existing. Like
As one do. Existing is hard. I too want treats for existing. Okay, we're gonna say hi to chat real quick. And then...
Yes.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
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 Hey, Mimi.
Look, we have a Mimi.
Hello.
We have a Tina.
It's me.
RP. Hello. Yo, what's up? How you doing? Cake. The one mystery treat links.
It came up twice for us because I deleted and reposted. But
oh, that's fair. Oh, see, I just thought like one was the website and then the next one down was the webtoon to make it easier to click. But I see.
See, that would have been smart. It's not what I did.
Well, now you have the knowledge. Found out I was moving last week, so I spent the weekend cutting down trees so the house can get put up.
Nice.
But what about your greenhouse? What's going to happen with that? Weekend was good, and today I managed to build an IKEA chair. It only took me 2 tries. Nice. The guy at my work accidentally taught his new kitten to sit and stay. Good.
Oh.
My regal prince is just like right there.
Oh.
He's just sitting like this, just beside the laptop now. He's like, Mother, I will spend time with you. You seem desperate.
He's like your own personal gargoyle.
I have so many pictures of him just standing like this. Like this, like with his little paws in front. That's just his default stance.
Oh. Boo's default
Also,
stance is just to be a circle.
Also, for those who don't know, male cats are in fact called princes. That wasn't just me being. Or is that a dog?
That was just being cute.
No, it's male dogs are princes. Male cats are toms. So yes, that was just me.
Mm-hmm.
Greenhouse is coming with. It can be taken. Okay, cool. I wasn't sure how you had built it. My weekend was good. Friday we had back to school night. So we met the children's teachers, dropped off their school supplies so they did not have to carry them with them on Monday, which is today. And then Saturday it was, library. It was a library weekend, so we went to the library, bought groceries, came home, watched stuff, and then Sunday, I slept a good portion of the day, and then Chris and I had an inside date day, which we watched the new Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and that hit my poor husband harder than he thought it would. Rocket is one of his favorite characters. Like, we knew, but he didn't know. And then I stayed up until the children were on the bus this morning, and then I almost forgot that I had a stream today, y'all. So
Welcome.
I sent me and Tina the links at like 6:40 or somewhere between 6:30 and 6:40, and I was like, do. I came in here with my laptop, and the children were like, "Oh, we're being kicked out," and I'm like, "Yes." Mimi, how was your weekend?
It was chill, Work is a little hectic, so I was just like, I'm not going to do anything all weekend. Nothing. I wrote, but otherwise, nada. But yeah, no, I have one more day of hectic work, and then it's back to my old office, and I don't have to worry about things anymore.
Awesome. Tina.
Nice. I don't remember what I did on Saturday because on Friday my period started and it was real bad and I fell asleep at like 7 o'clock and then I woke up really early.
I'm pretty sure that's why I've been sleeping so hard. Mine started today.
Yeah. And
I turned
then
into a bear.
on Sunday, I did a bunch of cleaning and a bunch of grocery shopping. I'm like, oh, and a friend came over. So I did all the things on Sunday. I did post one mystery treat on Saturday, though.
Oh, yeah.
My Secret Admirer comic. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and we totally had a work-in show because I was trying to finish it off.
Yes, that was true.
That's the thing I did. I don't remember anything else that happened on Saturday. But yeah, life's been a touch hectic at the moment, so I'm just kind of.
Yeah.
I had at one point on my on my task list, it was like goals for the week: survive. But I did.
Yeah, that's right. I was watching a lot of Murder, She Wrote. Are you guys familiar with that show?
Yes.
I have heard of it, but never seen it.
I've been considering re-binging it, so. I love Murder, She Wrote. I used to watch it with my grandmama and then on my own.
I used to watch it with my grandpa. Oh my god, so Murder, She Wrote, Tina, is...
Hold on. Before we go into that, introduce thyselves.
Yes.
And then
that's right.
Oh, yes.
Tina, you go first. Someone go first.
We could go easy on Mimi.
Would you prefer Tina go first, Mimi?
Sure.
I could go first.
Now,
I'm in the hot seat. I'm in the hot seat because I'm so hot. I gotta stop laughing first. Too busy giggling.
No laughing.
Yeah, no laughing. This is a serious stream. What are you talking about? Hey, I'm Tina. I go by Cabby online. Usually my text is here, but it is not. I just
noticed that. Links. I'm trying to figure out where that went.
It's okay. I am a queer comic artist. I have 2 complete-ish projects. There's Coffin Bed, a lesbian vampire romance day in the life story, and then there's the 2 deep sea mermaids discuss job satisfaction. Those are both complete. There will be more Coffin Bed in the future, but right now my current project is a updating every 2 weeks gay secret admirer story called One Mystery Treat, where the main character Case receives his usual order at a diner paid for by a secret admirer, and now he's on the case to figure out who it is. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, launching it, to reward myself for launching it, I have bought the treat that he gets because I have never actually had it before. I solely picked it because it has a cute name. But yeah, and you can find my links down below as I post. I'm totally not posting them as I say this. What are you talking about?
They're also in the description. So.
Yes, that too. But I like putting them in the commentos as well. Beep, 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 beep. But yeah, that's me.
Don't mind my face. My face is StreamYard. Why are you not cooperating with me?
Hi everybody. Okay.
Sorry, just that. Really funny.
This is my very first stream ever, and I'm like, I don't know what to say. But hello,
my name is live today. Mimi.
My name's Mimi. I'm Mimi. I am a dark fantasy writer working on my debut novel, Shadows Like Mountains, which I lovingly call my false saint whip. It's about the daughter of the saint never receiving her powers to help her dying village. So it's just dark, and there's like horror elements, and it's sad. and it's about death. It's death for
It's also
everybody.
gross
It's a lot of death.
at some point.
Chapter one is gross, and the rest is like
your
not.
mileage
In an interesting
may
way.
vary. I didn't.
Yeah.
So your mileage may vary on that.
There was some descriptions where I was like, oh. It's really good.
I was telling Sam that like it's only chapter one. Like I don't ever have to go back to the disease again. Yeah.
Mimi put her chapter 1 up for our monthly critique group in July.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I described the disease and it was like light body horror. Mileage may vary. But I told Sam, like, I'm never going to revisit the disease again. Like, why would I have to re-describe it? Now you know what it's like. So the rest of the book is not gross at all. You can find. I have several social media, and I am Mirav Levy writes in all of them. So I'm sure they're like down in the description. I'm not sure. Let me see. I'm sure they are. I trust Sam.
I put your link in the linkaronis.
Thank you. Thank you for my linkaronis.
I don't need to edit the name. I need to put the display name up. Hi, hello, it's me. I'm fighting with StreamYard. Hi, I'm Writing Mom Samantha Elnasset. This is my channel where I talk about writing things, parent things, and writer-parent things. I also host live streams like these on Mondays. Fear not, I've never forgotten one before. And I don't plan to in the future. We have a good time here where we hang out and we do some work sprints and everything. You can stalk me at all of my links down below. I have samples of my writing at samanthaelnasset.com that you can read so you see that I know what I'm talking about. I have a spooky flash fiction, Till Pizza Do We Part, and a murderous villain short story. All that glitters. I almost forgot what it was called. I was so scared. I also host a Discord writing group. It's for writers by writers, and we have a lot of fun in there. You can join it via my Ko-fi linked below. I have to go back up to see what chat had said. Kelly loves void kitties. Then again, I may be biased as I have a very own spoiled rotten void kitty. Aww. I have always had a void cat, like since I've had memory. My childhood void cat was Salem, and then now is Freyr. My pain in the ass. He's still over there. He's just guarding me from the dog, who is just over there, like sitting on her nice fuzzy or her nice comforter, and she's just like, "Yeah, I'm in the room with mom," and he's just like, he'll go from cleaning himself to staring at her as if she is about to attack me at any moment, and I'm like, "Bro, why? It's fine."
Boo is my first void. I have
Your first voidling. It's okay.
Yeah, my first voidling.
And pretty much everything in it now has been mostly harvest, so I'm just not gonna plant anything till after we move. Cool. Yeah, because we're about to switch seasons, so that's kind of convenient. Mm-hmm. My void cat is Sir Knight, and he is very codependent.
Oh.
Bruh, at night I'll like look over, and this one is just like snuggled up to my oldest or like laying on him. My oldest will just full on lay on him, like put all of his stuffed animals around him. He just puts up with all of it. And I'm like, sir, but you won't cuddle with me anymore. But like if I go in the bathroom to brush my teeth or something, he'll like pop up on the like counter or the sink and then want like to boop my nose or my chin or give me a kiss, and that's it. But no cuddles. The only thing what happened? Can we work through this? I will find. I don't want to know. Wait. Tell me how to hide the display name, because then the brand.
Okay, but yeah, Tina, Murder, She Wrote was an 80s show that starred Angela Lansbury. Are you familiar with her?
I know of her from BoJack Horseman. That's the
She's Mrs. Potts. Have you seen Beauty and the Beast?
Oh yeah.
So fun fact about Angela Lansbury and Beauty and the Beast: she didn't want to sing at all. She only sang the song Beauty and the Beast because they needed to test something with it, and so she said, "Okay, I'll do it for testing." But they liked her singing it so much that they like convinced her to let them keep it. But she really didn't want to do it.
Yeah. Well, she's lovely. So in this show, she plays this writer who is a mystery novel writer, and she ends up solving murders in her tiny little town. And everywhere she goes, someone's getting murdered. And so the whole show is about her, like, cracking down the murder. It's just lovely. I want to be her when I grow up. A little old lady who writes books and has lots of friends and solves murders.
She specifically writes murder mysteries.
Yeah.
And then, like, a lot of times she'll travel somewhere because it's either she's visiting a friend or relative or she's doing research for one of her books, and then she gets
and she's always more competent than the police. Yeah.
As happens and such. The 80s and the 90s were really filled with competent civilian detectives always getting in the police way. Nancy Drew, the Hardy Boys.
Scooby-Doo.
I think they're from the 50s or 60s.
Yeah.
If we get a female Void Kitty, I want to call her La Latina. Had a void cat named Being Smarts. Yes, after Hocus Pocus, he was a sweet kitty. Aw. Not a cat, but I named my cousin after Zachary or Thackeray Binks. Only like at 4, I was convinced his name was Zachary, not Thackeray. So my cousin's name is Zachary because of Thackeray Binks, which my grandmother's like, she wouldn't let anybody correct me because she hates the name Thackeray, but she likes the name Zachary. So she was like, no, it's fine. I now suspect maybe she misinformed me, but I have no evidence or memory of that far back. It's so good. Is it on Hulu or Netflix now?
It's on Prime. Amazon Prime.
I might be able to get it then.
It's free
Prime
with
is
ads.
usually pretty good.
It is a Konosuba reference.
I will write it down to look up.
That's
Darkness's real name.
It's just really cute.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's because it's like one of the older shows and stuff, like the stakes are good, but you also know that it's always going to turn out okay, and like there's going to be fun hijinks along the way.
Yeah. It's just a cute show to have in the background too when you're
And sometimes you want to root for the murderer.
It do be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like older murderer shows like had a good amount of oh no, these people are just bad people and they should go to jail, but then also like sympathetic to why one would like like the morals of murder were not black and white in older shows like that. It's very, very gray areas of, well, maybe we could just not notice this crucial evidence the police doesn't need.
Oh, there's this one episode, the prison episode. There's like, I actually like froze the show at this frame, but there's like this letter that they find, and they're like, oh, that's they treat the letter like a clue, but the letter literally says this is for all the lesbians in prison. Like, and you have to pause it. You have to pause it so you can read what it actually says, and it's great.
TVs weren't high def enough to do that. They're like, nobody can pause their TV. It's fine. Now here we are in 2023. Like, oh, we see that prop department. We
see that, yeah. And like I heard that Angela Lansbury was a huge like LGBT ally, so it makes sense that was in her show.
That is great.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, this just reminded me. The other day, so Vi, my dog, is obsessed with laying on my feet when we sleep, which is fine because I naturally have icicle feet. So it works for me. A lot of times she'll like I literally have a set of photos that just shows her throughout the day rotating around my feet. Well, the other day, I don't know how, it was just her head on my foot. But the way she was laying on it, it made my foot go numb because her head is so heavy.
Oh, no.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I had to move my foot. I was like, this never happened before. She was knocked the fuck out. Just sleeping there. I'm like, bye, I love you, but I can't feel my foot right now. We can't have that. But I moved it enough to wake it up, and then I slid it back like under the crook of her neck, and she was good, and I was good. So, but that reminded me because I was trying to my foot. I can feel it now, and I don't want to feel my foot. You guys, a little late now playing catch up, but just wanted to say hi. Well, hello and welcome.
Hello.
You're not. We will be doing a sprint soon. One advantage to like kicking the children out, I get to use the desktop. Yeah. And we have a new keyboard, so all the keys work. Also, for everybody, this is Mouse Junior. I had to replace Mouse Senior because I had Mouse Senior for like 4 or 5 years, and the sides were rubbing off where my fingers hold it. And the little like tabs here have been gone for a long time. But like these little Logitech mouses, they're like $15. I'm pretty sure it used to be 10. I think it went up in price. But they're like $15. And Mouse Senior I had for like, I want to say 4, maybe 5 years. Only it was on its second battery, and that battery was still going good. And there was nothing wrong with the mouse other than I was wearing the fuck out of it. So got a new mouse. And it came with a battery, and I was like, yeah. I had forgotten that it comes with a battery because I was just going to steal the battery from Mouse Senior. And I'm
talking like saying
Mouse Junior, Mouse Senior.
Yeah, the whole Mouse Senior, Mouse Junior thing keeps reminding me of Kim Possible, like Junior Senior and Junior Junior.
Junior Senior.
Oh man.
And I am not responsible with that. Like I don't turn it off when I'm not using it. It's always on. So
I always forget that my mouse can do that. I have the Apple mouse, the one that has the charging port right here, which made it so I had to buy a USB mouse to use when I'm charging it. But
unfortunate.
I do love the way it's shaped, though. It's cute.
No mouse? Just mouse pad?
Your trackpad.
I just have my trackpad.
Trackpad girl.
I will say that, like, my refrigerator and my oven is like where the cat mousey graveyard is. I have a lot of toy mousies just pushed under the oven.
I love how much of a menace Alloy is.
Yes, he is.
I too used to be a trackpad girly. I actually used to play League of Legends with a trackpad, which I don't know how many of you know how impressive that is. Then we got a mouse, and my Amumu game went up so high. A mouse and some good, like, a better computer so that I had good FPS.
I mean, like, I don't often play PC games, but to play a game with the mouse with a trackpad, like, holy crap. That just
Fox,
seems
what,
impossible.
what mice crimes have I committed? Fox said that's not a friend of Sam. That's what the kids did. He didn't have a mouse. I only had the trackpad, and I'm pretty damn good with the trackpad, sir. I'm just glad I don't have to go back to those days. But yes, what mouse crimes have I committed, sir?
I'm like, have I ever committed any mouse crimes? I don't think so.
He just said all three of us have committed mouse crimes, but he has not elaborated yet.
No body, no crime. I don't have a mouse. So therefore, no crime.
No body, no crime. Can prove nothing.
Oh my god. So Taylor Swift has a song called No Body, No Crime, right?
Mm.
I don't know if you guys have heard it.
Immediately
right?
intrigued.
Yes, I have. I have.
And it features a band called Haim, right? Do you know about Haim at all?
Very little.
I know.
Okay. So they're a band of three sisters, and the thing is that they are friends with Taylor Swift. And Taylor went up to them one day, like, I think actually literally texted one of the sisters and was like, "Hey, what's your favorite restaurant?" And she was like, "Olive Garden." And Taylor was like, "Cool." And then proceeded to write a song where she gets that sister gets murdered. And then presented it to them like, "Do you want to feature on this song with me?" And they were like, "Hell yeah." And it's one of my favorite stories about like a song. And it's really good. And the sisters do great in it. Like, because there's even really like the other two sisters have those little backup moments of like supporting Taylor having, you know, done the murder. It's great.
Are we ready to do our first sprint?
Yes.
All right, Tina, on his down.
Yes. 3, 2, 1, go.
And we're back. I have rearranged all the things and no longer am sure where to put the mic. I think over there will be fine. You're muted.
Really pale.
There we go.
Every dang time.
Well,
Chris is asking me what I'm eating. I'm eating a donut from Voodoo Donuts.
Oh, I've heard about them.
Yes, they're so good. They're all over Oregon, Colorado, and Texas.
Ooh. I don't know how many people saw, but at some point my voidling was like right here. So I like had the camera pushed so that it was like a mild cat cam. But now he's over there sleeping. Hoodoo, hoodoo, with your voodoo.
I ate the Milfoy / Napoleon slice. It was delicious, but it was also very sweet.
So Case got a sweet tooth.
Really, I knew because I had read what the ingredients were. I knew it was one of those things was on the sweeter side, but it's like really sugary, especially
You're
that
you're looking at your MC now and being like, "Sir, we got to talk about your health."
Yeah.
It's okay, Case.
It is addressed later that yeah, I don't want to get into too much spoilers, but there is a point where Case is like, enough of this treat particular.
No more. I can't no more. Case could also be like me, in which we have a genetic disposition to taste things that are bitter more strongly. And I think a side effect of that is that sweet things are not as sweet to me. So I tend to prefer things that to other people taste super sweet, but to me, I think is just kind of sweet. It's like whenever I taste molasses or honey or something, it tastes bitter to me, which confused one of my friends because they're like, they are sweeteners. And I'm like, but they taste bitter. I can't help it. But yes, so. We can't get to Orlando, sir.
He wants to try Voodoo Donuts?
I suppose.
Chris, come to Colorado.
To try all foods. I did a lot of like small administrator tasks. Like I checked my emails. I caught up in my server. I did my to-do list. So I read One Mystery Treat's latest update, liked and commented.
That's so sweet of you. Should I drop? I feel like I keep dropping the link every like 10 seconds. But
it's fine. I can't see it on the screen, so it's been long enough. Though
I read because I love you all so much.
I started reading this.
We'll just start reading.
I've heard of that one.
I can't see it because I have to have the screen like halved. So
no worries. It's the body keeps the score.
Is that for physical trauma?
Yes. Well, PTSD. It's the way your body maintains stress when you have been traumatized.
My immediate reaction was my shoulders everywhere, but then I'm like, the different kind of stress. Yeah, different kind of stress. Sorry, Chris and I started playing this Monopoly Go game, which it's one of those absolutely pointless games because your little thing just goes around and you just accumulate money that you like buy things with, but it makes it so relaxing. There's a very like mild PvP aspect to it of where every time, you land on something, you could knock somebody's properties down or steal from their bank. And some bitches came and broke my properties and I had to fix them. Motherfuckers. But it's fine. I'm not salty.
My husband, he plays Pokemon Go, and he was the champion of our apartment complex. And today someone took his title.
How dare they? That's so rude. We played Pokemon Go for a while when the kids were younger, and then now if there's like a community day, we'll take the kids to this one park that has a bunch of war monuments at it, and you just like walk around, and there's so many Pokemon Go stops there because every monument is a stop. So we'll go there and we'll just like we'll buy food. We'll have like a little picnic and family day and catch Pokemons. And then like none of us touch Pokemon Go after that for a while. When it first came out, Chris and I were really big into it. I have so many EVs. So many. And special event Pikachus. Yeah, recently Chris said that he stopped because I forgot why. I think it was just becoming too stressful with all the things coming out, and they're like changing some things. I don't know. Like I was very dedicated to it when it first came out because I wanted all the Pokemons. I was like, maybe I'll finally be able to catch them all. Like I never leave my house. That makes it very hard to catch anything. So what is everybody going to be working on today? I forgot to ask. Chat? Oh, wait. Chat, what did you work on and how did you do? This is the banner that I put up when I forget to ask everyone what they're going to be working on before the first sprint. I am prepared. After I finish my administrative task, I shall be critiquing the final chapter that I have to critique. I was going to do it last night, but my 3 loads of laundry in the basket stared at me. Then my arms were very tired. So many towels to fold. So that is what I will be doing. So what will you do?
Excuse me. Okay. I would probably start working on chapter 6. I might have to rewrite chapter 1. I don't know. As I'm reading my other chapters, I'm just like, they don't sound anything like chapter 1 at all.
Okay, so you would be rewriting chapter 1 to fit the new writing style, presumably.
I don't know. I'll just not think about it right now. I should just move on, or maybe I don't have to rewrite chapter 1. Maybe I could just tweak it.
You should send the first 3 chapters to your critique partner and let them tell you.
I know, Sam.
That didn't sound pointed at all.
I know. I'm just crippled. Yeah, I don't know if anybody else feels this way. I'm just crippled by this need to prove myself before I send out stuff to anybody. I don't know. Does anybody else feel this way? It's just me.
We can never ask Sam if she feels X way. I'm always in the hashtag not like other girls.
See, the thing is that my way of dealing with that is just going, fuck it, let me send it to my closest friends, you know? Because I know they'll love me anyway. Unless there was a line that was like, and Nicole who says, I hate Mimi, you know, like. I would never, but.
I want to say the only time I have felt similarly is when I was sending, not for her, to a sensitivity reader for PTSD and stuff. And I had a feeling of like I have CPTSD. So I know that I understood it on a level, and I've done a lot of research for it because I have it and because it's new-ish, all things considered. They're like just recently starting to differentiate it from PTSD and like trying to find treatments that work for it, because PTSD things don't work for CPTSD. And so, and I was sending it to, you know, sensitivity reader, and I like, while I was waiting for the thing, like I sent it, and when I sent it I was fine, but then after I sent it I was like, oh my god, what if they send me back feedback that I don't actually understand anything? I'm like, what if they in fact tell me that I've done everything wrong and my entire life is a lie?
Yeah,
But
that's how I feel.
then the notes that she sent me back were pretty much like, I absolutely love how you wrote this. It shows such a deep intentional understanding. I have like, basically I just have some notes on how you can do more, and like, and I have some resources for you if you would like to read them, so that you can give him even more little like quirks or habits or stuff. And I was like, yes, please give me all of the resource material. Therefore it has only fed my ego. And I'm like, I can do no wrong except all the sentences that Fox points out. Motherfucker. But
yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like, you know, what if I, you know, because I've definitely read some stuff where I was just like, and so I'm just like, I don't want to be one of those people. I don't want to give somebody my manuscript and they're like, you know,
just having read 2 of your chapters, you're overthinking it.
Thank you.
You're fine.
I appreciate your vote of confidence.
Fox, you will never be able to crush my ego, even in a platonically caring way. It's very strong at this point. He said, I will crush
Fox, you could... Oh, I was gonna say, Fox could definitely crush my ego, though. I am such a baby about critiques, is the thing.
Yeah.
I like, my
Fox
thing has also been like...
beneath my boot.
My thing is that, like, when it comes to, like, actually, like, receiving critique, I'm like, I need a friend just on the phone with me, or, like, beside me to be like, it's okay, Tina. Not even, like, because of... I just need that reassurance available to me. Like...
I'll be that friend, Tina, if you ever need it.
I mean, Fox critiqued my story first for last month's critique group, and I was like, anybody who reads his critiques of my story is going to be so intimidated receiving his critiques for theirs, but they shouldn't be, because he won't critique everybody else at the same level of Foxism that he does mine. Calling out my 90s kid issues. He says, I was nice to you. Were you?
See, the thing that comes to mind about Fox critiques is like, you know, in Mortal Kombat when you kill somebody and it says fatality. That's how I imagine. That's how I imagine Fox's critiques.
It's fine. I will say Fox is one of the best critiquers I have ever had the pleasure of working with, though. So I especially like how he's not afraid to get in. For me, he's not afraid to get into the nitty gritty and just be like, this is probably just a nitpick. Because like half the time or more, I'm like, I could do that better. I absolutely love and loathe whenever he highlights a sentence and he goes, this is fine, but you can do better. And I'm like, how the fuck dare you challenge and believe in me like that? Like, sir.
That is so relatable, though. There have been so many times where I've like read friends' work, and I'm like, this line is fine, but I know you can do better, and I know that you're gonna see this come and you're gonna do better, so I have to say it. You know, like
it's the advantage of having a critique partner that you've worked with for years is that you two learn each other's style, and like skill level, and so you like. It's easier to be like, okay, bish, rewrite this shit. I know you didn't try. Like, I know you didn't try with this sentence. I can see it. I can see the 4 a.m. in this paragraph.
I was gonna say something else about Fox. Oh, Fox was also a very talented nitpicker for the nitpick crew for One Mystery Treat, because there was things that like he noticed where like me and a friend were like zooming in trying to see. I'm like, Fox, is your monitor like 2 feet by 2 feet? Like, so you can see all these tiny details.
We should now, if we ask him for help with picture things, we should just be like, Fox, what do you see with your elven eyes? Yeah, why did he send me he sent me a gif of a man looking at bananas in a grocery store and then being drop kicked by another man dressed as a banana.
You get what you asked for.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The Pokemon Go, Chris said they charged remote raid pass for like 5 for 3 or something, and then they raised the price and they made it so you can't use or buy more than 3 a day or whatever. All that, bruh. Let me just do things from my house, Pokemon Go. This is not.
I don't know what that means.
So, like in Pokemon Go, there's super bosses. And you have to work with other people to beat the super bosses, and that's called a raid. And a remote raid is they would let you basically buy a ticket so that you could participate in the raid without actually having to be at the location.
Mm-hmm.
And so they sold them 3 for $5, which was a good-ish deal as far as microtransactions in a video game goes. But then they raised the price, and they also made it so that you can only buy 3 a day. So, thus limiting the accessibility of it. My personal rule of thumb is to send it to others after I've gone through a second round of edits. Gives me time to do bulk editing. It's why no one has read my whip yet. I am
I'm the opposite.
I do two things, right? I first send Fox everything. Like Fox, like he gets he'll get the chapter before I do revisions, and I'll be like, enjoy, and then he'll get the chapter after my first round of revisions, or because for this project I'm doing 2 rounds of self revisions, and then he and my other critique partners will get it, but he just gets it in like every round, and I'll just be like, enjoy the updates. Which like recently for my revision for the second chapter, which had this one fight, the first time he like read it, he's like, yeah, it feels step by step, and I was like, okay. And when I did my first round of revisions, I'm like, does it feel better overall? And he's like, some parts do. Some parts are still step by step. And I'm like,
see, when I send somebody my work, it's usually like the 7th or the 8th edit or the 9th or the 10th.
Me and Mimi are on like opposite sides of the spectrum because
Mimi,
because the thing
Mimi,
is
what
that
we're gonna do, not for the critique group, but because you and I are critique partners, you're not allowed to do more than 3 rounds of revisions before you send me the chapter. We have to build up your fuck it.
Yeah, your fuck it bucket.
Your fuck it bucket. Because this is what I'm hearing is this is the major difference here. Is Tina and I have a fuck it. And we just send it.
Well, Well, I was saying, me and Mimi are on opposite sides of the spectrum, and I don't think either are right or wrong. Because the thing is that I literally like when I started critique partnering with Wilma with Lefty, it was literally like I was like, so I have these notes that I like typed up on my phone one day of vaguely what I want this to be about. And I just slapped it onto a Google Doc. And then I went through and clarified things as she was like, what? Huh? And that was about it.
So Bella said, also the manuscript is supposed to be shitty. If you can see the problems, it means you've improved as a writer. The manuscript phase is where you fix it. So I have slight qualms with, I know this is very popular writing advice, and I have qualms with this because I don't feel that at any stage of my writing is shitty. And so I don't like this mentality. I will say I agree that the first draft of your manuscript is your worst draft. And so every draft after that is an improvement. So, but I really just don't like the first draft is shitty, because I'm like, I feel like that's not giving yourself enough credit. Like,
yeah,
do we have some shitty draft? Like, I will write a chapter and I'll be like, oh man, that one scene or that, or this, or I'll be like, this draft in particular, like I know it was shitty, but like it's I'm at that point where it's like I'll do a first chapter. And for example, I did the first chapter of Save Her Soul, and I wasn't satisfied with it because I had always imagined that chapter from Moxie's perspective. I had like imagined most of the book from Moxie's perspective, so I had to force my brain to get into Rochelle's perspective and to like develop her narrative voice, right? And so like my first draft for chapter 1, I felt was okay, but it was very lacking in certain areas, which my writing is usually very strong, which is narrative voice. So I had to go back. And basically my first round of revision was just adding Rochelle's perspective to Rochelle's POV. But like, I still don't think that first draft was shitty. I just think it was lacking. But then when I wrote chapter 2, which was Moxie's point of view, I felt the narrative voice was much stronger and things flowed much smoother. But I felt like my fight scene was pretty shitty because it was step by step. I had some good lines in there, but the fight scene itself, I'm like, is it a terrible fight? Like, I've done so much better. And so, yeah, but I will agree that your first draft should be your worst draft. Because if you can't improve your first draft, then I'm sorry. Something has gone wrong.
Yeah, my thing is that like I also personally just don't like describing my work or anyone else's work like as like bad or shitty, you know? Like I think like as you said, like it's a thing of like your first draft and like your early drafts are naturally going to be lacking because they haven't been polished yet. They haven't been worked over yet, right? It's like, you know, it's like you're making a cake and you put in all the dry ingredients and then you're like, the cake isn't perfect yet. And it's like, yeah, because you got more stuff to do. Like, you know, it's like, yes, of course, this container of dry ingredients is technically, I mean, I guess you could call it a shitty cake. You taste the
flour. You only put the flour and baking soda in and you taste it and you're like, where's the flavor?
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's, yeah, I personally, I'm never a fan of like, yeah, describing your work that way because I feel like you're setting up yourself for failure, sort of like being like, well, this is potentially, maybe it's just me, but.
I think it might actually, this is a theory that I'm throwing out that I just thought of. I think that might even contribute to the overwhelm and that pressure to not send your first draft to people because you don't want them to see something that's shitty. But like, hold on, I set us up a timer and it started going by itself. Excuse you.
Oh,
be patient.
Hold on, timer. Chat.
But yeah, so I feel I feel like if instead you're like, okay, so my first draft was my worst draft, then like, and you send people your first draft, you're like, hey, this is my first draft, so it's my worst draft, and then people are like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, we know. But like, if you're like, oh yeah, this is my first draft, it's shitty, it's like, I don't know, I don't want to show people things that are shitty. My worst draft is fine. You can see my worst draft. I don't care. But like, so I think that mentality and advice that goes around may contribute to people feeling like Mimi said, the pressure to like impress with your first, or I forgot how you phrased it, Mimi. You phrased it so well.
It's also thank you. It's also like when I don't even remember what I said. I'm like, oh yeah, thanks.
We can play it back eventually. It's fine.
it's just I'm a pantser through and through. So my very first chapter I've ever written, which I have rewritten now like 13 times, I was figuring out who they were, how they spoke to each other, what village were they from, what the jungle was like, what were they finding in the jungle, what the sickness is about. I didn't know most of that information up until like it took me a whole year to develop that information. You know what I mean? After a whole year spent doing research. So like, my perspective, and this is also just to like protect myself mentally. I don't want to give someone my worst draft. I want to fix the more glaring things myself so that I don't burden them with an overload of all these problems. I would prefer to put my best foot forward so they can actually help me fix the real problems instead of overloading them with all these obvious issues that I can fix myself. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. It does make sense.
It does make sense. I feel
that's why like I said, I send my worst draft. I send my first draft or like my worst draft to Fox, but he doesn't critique that one. I just send it because I'm excited because I wrote it and I need somebody to read it.
Yeah.
But then like I'll actually have his critique, and with my second draft, I sent the revisions and stuff, and the only like with the first draft, he just let me know that the fight read really like step by step, because that's unusual for me. And so, that helped me with my self revisions. And then I did that. And I specifically asked him if the fight had improved, because I plan to do 2 rounds of self revisions before I send it to critique partners. And so but that's a big thing. That's not getting into the like little small parts. And he didn't give me specifics of where the fight like was step by step. So I'll still be going through that and figuring out which parts still feel stilted to me. So I definitely like agree, and I get that, which is part of why I said you like draft 3. I feel like draft 3 is a good spot, because I feel like after like you get trapped in self-editing and self-revisions and you like get stuck. Like I'm saying you as a general thing, not specifically picking on Mimi here.
No, you're good.
Maybe
you get stuck in your own head, and then like you can't look at it with clean eyes anymore, and you're just like, I'll just throw the whole shit away. Like fuck it, nobody else needs to read this. Where'd those papers go? Oh well.
I feel like it's also a thing of like, Mimi, the way you phrased it, like you said that like you don't want your like first worst draft to burden people, but I feel like as a critique partner, like I've never felt burdened by errors in the story. If anything, it's like I am here because I'm excited to help you, so any way I can help you, I want to, like sort of thing. Like it's a thing of like, with me and Wilma, like I fix little like spelling errors and stuff, and I know that's like not really a common thing, and at the beginning I was like, is this okay? But it was a thing of like certain words, it's like, like even I sat there and I was like, I think that's how that's spelt, but I'm not sure, and I would sit there and Google for her, right? Like or being like, is this American spelling or English spelling?
Tell you,
but
the amount of times Fox and I double check both the spelling, the usage, and if a word is a real word for each other.
Yeah, totally.
And like, we'll leave critiques for each other that's like, I didn't think this was a word, but Google says you're right, so fuck you in Google. Just stuff like that.
But yeah, I feel
Aries,
like
I'm a Virgo. This is just how we communicate with each other. But adding on to what Tina said, and also to our first draft shit versus first draft worse, I actually specifically will send some scenes or a chapter to Fox and just be like, tell me this is not shit. And then he'll be like, okay, it's not. And I'm like, okay, cool, and move on with my day. Because that is first and foremost my concern sometimes. With like if I wrote something when I'm brain fogged, if I had a headache, if it was 5 a.m, then I'll be like, oh my god, is this shitty? I can't tell.
I once nearly deleted the entire outline of AFO because I was on my period. I was sitting there like,
our worst enemies.
I was like, I just want to redo it all. And then like the bartender was like, wait a second, what day is it? Like, and I was like, no touching it until after.
Fox was like, I was right about the thing that you thought was different. I don't remember the word, but I'm right. Me. It was the use of past and past, like PASSED and PAST. I thought you only use PAST if you're referring to time things. I was wrong, and my world is a lie. That also happens a lot. Like anytime I have a minor misunderstanding or inconvenience with grammar or words, my world is a lie. It's like the entire world. I'm a very dramatic. Like I have a very strong ego and big sense of self-esteem, but also I'm so fucking dramatic. Like I called my daughter dramatic the other day, and she's like, "Mom, why do you think I'm dramatic?" And I'm like, "Because drama recognizes her own." And I'm like, "I'm dramatic," and she's like, "How are you dramatic?" And I'm like, "He'll understand one day." So I think for my daughter at the moment, her perception of drama is very skewed because of me. She's just like, Mom, you're just baseline. No, dog. Bella said Fox is the best friend that laughs at you when you fall on your face, but the first to defend someone hurts you. So funny enough, Fox is like the biggest mother hen friend I have ever had.
Aww.
Like if anything is just minorly wrong, he's like, my concern is so high. But also because he knows me so well, he knows the moment I start being dramatic about something, all his empathy turns off. I'll like message him. I'm like, I'm in the bathroom and I'm dying, and he's like, I'll make sure you have a good eulogy. I'll like order. The last time I told him I was dying, he was like, please set up your will so CB can take over your channel. I will make sure that it goes smoothly. But also, like, that's fine. That's just what I need in my life.
Yeah.
Somebody who both mother hens at the most minor, well, I treat them as minor, but they're larger concerns, but then also someone who is able to just handle my over dramatic ass.
This is kind of becoming the Fox stream. Where
it's just always the Fox stream.
But today especially. Also, it us timer. Because yeah, we're both June Cancers.
Yes.
Banners, that's what I'm missing. Sorry, I was like, yes, I picked it for y'all. And then I was sitting here like, what am I missing on my screen? I'm missing something. My banners. Mimi, would you like to count us down?
Sure. 3, 2, 1, go.
And we're back. How did everybody do that sprint? I started continued listening to my hour of writing related analysis things. And then more admin-y stuff. I posted my stream schedule for the month in the server and then was updating my how about. Updated my task list. This is. I have to update my task list the moment I remember there's a tiny thing that I have to do in case I get distracted and then forget the tiny thing that I have to
do. Yeah.
Brain fog is a struggle bus. I know there was something else I did, and I don't remember what it was. Sorry, go on.
No, I began writing, and then I stopped writing because I was like, am I listening to the right music for this scene? I don't think so. And then I got distracted, so I started researching about hearing loss and stuff. So I'm like, and then the sprint was over. And I'm like, oh, shit.
It's 20 minutes really goes by in a flash.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We can do more work and chill after the stream if you would like me. Yeah. Because I'm going to need it.
Yeah, I think we all need extra time today. As you can see, I'm currently working on the page as we go, which I tend to do, but
yeah. I have always admitted that my streams are not the best for productivity because the last two sprints are so short, but it's also mostly for me to socialize with other humans and talk to chat and stuff who I don't get to see except once a week. So no regrets, just balances.
But yes, I pulled up.
Sorry, I'm sorry, Tina. I just mildly out of context got a message from Fox that said, it says this is important as I have to avoid specifically targeting you with prompts then. And I was sitting here going, what the fuck were we talking about? I remember what we were talking about now. So go on, Tina. Sorry, I interrupted.
I went to start the sketches for the the next page of One Mystery Treat that I have to do, but it was taking a while to transfer from my computer to my iPad. So I started doing my my Greek lesson, which you could definitely see me doing during during the sprint because I do where I say the words out loud.
I do the same thing when I do my duo, so I get that.
I'm actually on a new one because I found that Duolingo made me upset because I was sick for a weekend and it was like, no more of your 400-day streak for you. And I was like, fuck you! Yeah. And so I was like, at first I was going to just take a break from Duolingo. And then I was just like, no, I don't like that it did that to me. I'm salty at that owl now. And I'm the type to hold a grudge. So...
But I saw something on a 1,000-day word streak.
Oh my god! But yeah, so I saw this thing on online of someone saying about doing language courses through their library instead of Duolingo, and I was like, my library has a lot of things. Does it have anything audio tapes, whatever I could listen to? And through that, or I was looking specifically for digital stuff, right? And I found that they actually have paired with an app, a paid app. So I get the paid app for free. And it's basically it's kind of like Duolingo, except it doesn't, it keeps track of how many days you can view those stats, but it does give you little reminders if you ask for them, but it doesn't actually do the whole losing winning streak, which was the part I was mad at. But also the lessons are so much longer than the Duolingo ones. It was a good 15 minutes of the sprint was me doing the lesson, I think. 10 to 15 minutes. because they get you to repeat the words over and over and over again, but then they really stick. And they also, what's nice about it is they have little notes of being like as you're learning the words, they're like, by the way, notice how you, like, in English it's like this, but in Greek it's like this. And I was like, I didn't until you just said so. Like, I was just learning to say, you know, I speak or you speak, right? And it's like, you don't actually say you or I, you just say the word, and then the end of the word is different depending on if you're talking about you or someone else.
What's the app called?
It's called Mango.
Mango.
And yeah, Mango Languages. Mango Lango, if you will. Is that what I'm going to start calling it in my share task list? Yes, I am.
I'm just checking if my library has it now.
Yeah, it is a thing of, like, if you're willing to shell those dollars, for anyone out there, I saw that it was only like $8 a month Canadian, so it's probably like $5-ish, $6-ish US, but yeah.
Duo works for the children, but Duo and I have been getting into fights lately, so the owl is too sassy for my life.
Yeah, I just really don't like that there's not a, like, hey, I'm like, what if I, you know, God forbid, I'm in a coma and then wake up and I've lost my streak. And Duolingo is like, sucks to be you. You shouldn't have gotten sick. Like, what is this nonsense? What is this ableist nonsense? I mean, there is probably a way where you can tell it ahead of time that you're going to, like, but I don't know where that is. And I was just, like, I was literally, it was either that I was, like, physically sick or I was just, like, having a bad mental health time that was, like, unexpected, but Duolingo should be more forgiving. Mango doesn't do me dirty like that. Mango does not care.
I think Duo has streak freezes, but, like, you can only have 2 at a time.
Well, that's the thing, is that my streak was lost because I ran out of streak freezes.
Yeah.
If you were to ever learn the Arabic language, like, you would still need to practice with, like, a lot with people, because those kinds of language programs, they'll teach you formal Arabic,
but they don't teach you the
yeah, and Arabic is so heavily reliant on slang that speaking formal Arabic, like what you're taught in textbooks and these programs, would just make you sound like a Victorian asshole. So proper.
They're like,
be like,
okay,
okay,
it's not your first language. They're like, it's not your first language, is it? And you're like, how did you know?
I do have the benefit of you know, me family being Greek, and also 2 of my cousins are translators. And so it's a thing of, like, a lot of the, like, especially a lot of the beginner words I actually already know because either my dad has tried to teach me, or it's a thing of, like, I've picked them up from just listening to enough Greek, you know? Like, I don't know how to say, where is blank, but I do know how to say I love you.
You know, when my husband is mad at the cat, because he'll only curse at the cat in Arabic.
Oh.
If he's out there speaking Arabic, I'm like, oh God, yeah.
I know several phrases of endearment in Spanish before I ever knew anything else in Spanish, because, like, Chris would tell me like, tu eres mi corazón, mi mundo, and stuff like that. He'd leave that on, like, my Gaia Online profile, and then, but I would get so annoyed because I didn't know what he was saying and I would have to Google it. Like, I recognize my, that was it. But now I know.
That's so cute.
RP saw a video on Facebook earlier about building a tiny house from wood pallets, so now he's watching videos on building a tiny house. Will this be your new project at your new place of residence? Is you're gonna build a greenhouse and then right beside it a tiny house?
There's a YouTuber. I'll have to pull up her
No
name.
YouTubers for you.
No YouTubers for me?
None for you. Not even this one. By Tina.
And she does a bunch of just like DIY, like construction-y things. And she has a whole series about taking a little mini, I believe it's a camper, and turning it into a tiny house. Where she like built the sink from scratch and all that stuff, and it's really fun to watch. It's one of my like throw on in the background sort of thing. Let me pop the link into the stream comments so you guys can see her as well if you like. I popped out the chat and then I lost it.
I will say, growing up the way that I did, I would never willingly live in a tiny house. Like, I'm very fascinated by them, and I'm glad that they work for so many people. But I am just like, no, I don't want to. Could I? Yes. Would I? No, I just can't. I'm like, if I ever save up enough money to buy land, that may be my plan. It's fair.
I mean, I feel like if you're planning to buy land, I feel like her stuff is quite like,
go check her out.
What yeah, like might be what's the word, inspirational. And also, as I said, just great background listening too. She's great personality, very funny. But,
yeah, I grew up predominantly because we moved to my parents' current house / my childhood home when I was about 6. So I lived there for 13 years, and I have never had my own bedroom. I like originally shared it with my uncle or aunt, I think. I shared it with somebody, and then they moved out and my sisters moved in. And from that point on, I've never had my own room. The top bunk was I had the top bunk and 2 shelves were my main area. There were 3 shelves in the closet that we were 1 shelf for each of us. And then we had this like big entertainment center thing where we could put stuff. But like I got to, because I was the oldest, I got to pick the color of the walls. So they were blue.
Nice.
Very similar blue to what is the current background of my StreamYard. I've always had a preference for this shade, as you can see. And just like, yeah, so in total, because my grandparents lived with my parents, so it was a 3-bedroom house, and there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There were 7 of us. And so, like, we made it work. It was cozy, but I would never want to again if I could avoid such. And like after I moved out of my parents' house, I immediately moved in with Chris. So he and I have always shared a bedroom. So to this day, I've never had my own bedroom, at least not that I can remember. And so like I see those tiny houses, and I'm like, you don't even get your own like full-size bedroom. You get like a bed in a room, maybe a couple shelves. And it's like, oh my God, the kitchen is so tiny. How am I supposed to cook like 4 things at once? I come from a big family. You cook like 4 things at once. That's what you do. So our kitchen right now is, well, it's a weird setup kitchen because like the room itself is big, but the kitchen part is so tiny, and I just want to tear it all down and redo it because I would like to actually be able to utilize more. I need an island so that I can like prep and cook over there. And we have a broken dishwasher that is a glorified drying rack. That is what it is for. But yeah, that's like when Chris and I were looking for a house to buy. I was like, I will accept no less than 4 bedrooms. Preferably 5 bedrooms, but I will accept no less than 4. And he was like, well, are you sure? Like for a time, he tried to maybe convince me to go down to 3, and then we'd get a 4 bed. I'm like, no, you don't understand. I was told since I was 6 years old that we would eventually move and I would have my own bedroom. are still in the house to this day. So I'm like, no, I'm like, this could be our forever home. Like, I'm not banking on maybe being able to move at some point. Plus, like, once the kids start school, I don't want to move them from school systems. That was like one of the pros, is that I was in the same school system from first grade to graduation. So, which is good because like my dad was in the military at the time, so we could have very much been bounced around. So like, I was like, nah. And we got this house. And after living here like 2.5 years, I converted. The garage den was originally just like a glorified storage area. So, you know, like we shoved everything in here, and I slowly went through all the boxes to put in the different rooms. And now it is the family room. So,
Yeah.
Which you could probably turn this room into a tiny house. I keep offering for CB or Fox to move into this apartment. They just won't.
You haven't
like,
offered for me. No.
Live here. Look, it's got a door to the outside and everything. You wouldn't have to bug anybody when you leave.
When I become a full-time comic artist and I can live anywhere, then we'll talk.
RP thinks he would do fine in a tiny house because he'd be by himself. So he'd have a nice bedroom, kitchen, bathroom, and honestly wouldn't need much else.
Nice.
Build your tiny house with your greenhouse.
Yeah. Make them attached.
Bella said, that's amazing. I would be the crazy person who builds a castle. See, that's what I want. My mom is like, I wouldn't want to clean that. I'm like, Mama, if I can afford a tiny castle, I can afford a maid or two. Like, like I ain't cleaning it either. If I ever won the lottery, I would buy land on the edge of some village and become the village crazy woman who is totally aware.
Yes.
Oh, hold on. It would be the cheapest way to live on a farm, so I would hopefully have enough extra money to put it all into developing the farm.
Makes sense.
I read that one. I went out of order a bit. Yep, some vibes. Castle are just bigger. See, this is my sister.
See, I feel like castle is too big.
Yeah, for me.
This is my sister and my plan. We would like the old southern-ish mansions, you know, that they like show in Regency things. But what we want to do is we would like to buy an acre or so of land together. And then I would build my mansion on one part of it, and then she would build her mansion right beside it, and we'd have a hallway connecting the two so that we could still visit each other when it rains and not get drenched. Yeah. And so, because like we don't want to live together, but we do want the convenience of seeing each other whenever we feel like it. Especially since like she never plans to move out of my parents' house. I tease my parents and her, or I tease my mom all the time because she'll be like, well, what's Heavy going to do when we die? I'm like, I'm inheriting her. What are you talking about? I already know. So, Debbie and I have discussed this. When y'all pass away, she lives with me. So this is what we want. So that like she has her house, I have my house. If we get enough money within my parents' or grandparents' lifetime, then like, you know, she shares the house with my parents. We will also build my grandparents their own little house. Everything connected by hallways. And then also secret passages so I can avoid my children when I want to go do something. That was my idea, actually, Tina, because then I could use the same water pipes in heat/AC for both.
When I was a kid in my childhood home, we had a solarium leading out to the backyard, and it was all like, you know, attached to the house, but then it was all glass, right? And my dad planted the garden right beside the solarium, so like it was a thing of like on one side it was just all greenery in the summertime, and like all the veggies and stuff would grow, and like he had like a trellis with like a rose bush climbing up the wall, and I'm like, I miss that. I want the solarium again. I want you look to the one side and it's all just greenery. So I would
Something
RP
like
invite
that
you to come be your roommate.
See,
Build me a
that is
tiny
part of
house.
my southern mansion style thing. That's what I want. And just also to like have a little garden but reading area, so that it's like glass house though, so I don't want to have to worry about rain or winter when I relax. Or summer, really. It's gotten real hot. So I just want to be able to go everywhere. It's just within my house, and it'll be fine. And like, could I find an old Southern mansion thing like this? Probably, but like, there's also a lot of things that would be on that land. That's bad vibes. I don't.
Yeah, bad vibes.
Vibes.
No, build your own.
Yeah.
I do like that porch that goes all the way around the house.
Wraparound porch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My neighbors
that, like,
on that side have a very tiny wraparound porch, and the other day, like, we
that's
came
cute.
home and they're just sitting out there with like one of those little mosquito lanterns, and they're just chilling, hanging out on the porch. And my husband's like, "What are they doing?" I'm like, "Exactly what I would be doing if we had a wraparound."
Yeah, that's what I want.
I legit want a castle house. To say I own a castle, I would probably rent it out for movies and parties while I travel the U.S. in a tiny house. Fair. Also, like, not all castles are huge. There's actually some small. At the Middle Tennessee Renaissance Fair, Castle Gwen, it's this architect founded the Middle Tennessee Renaissance Fair to fund the building of Castle Gwen, and it's just his house, but like as a castle. The last time I went, they were working on one of the towers, but it's just like a 2-3 bedroom castle. But it's like, I was like,
I also love that he hosts the fair to fund his house. that's some thinking.
That's what he said. He bought the land, and because he rents the like plots and stuff out to vendors and everything, and they sell tickets and stuff. So, but also, I think one weekend out of the month or something, if you bring like canned goods, you either get like a free ticket or a discount on your tickets or something, because they like run a food drive. So this man's just living one of my many dreams.
One of your many dreams, yeah.
Look, I just recently discovered George R.R. Martin is living my other dream that I'm slowly working towards, which is having
theater bookstore.
Being able to do rich people bullshit where he's just like, yeah, it's a defunct theater and I bought it. And then like we were running out of space for all these books for people like, because he would host book signings for authors and stuff on tour or anything, and then he would buy quite a few books, and they would have books left over, and he started out leaving them on a display for anybody who wanted to buy them, and then but there were too many, so they had to put them in the basement. I was like, the room under the house. I couldn't remember what it was called. The basement. And then he's like, but we were running out of room there, and then like the property right beside us came up for sale, so I bought it and I turned it into a bookstore. And I'm like, I want to do this rich people bullshit. Like, but also having a movie theater. Come on, y'all. My work and chills and my watch party in the server. He's just got the real life version, like the in-person version. Hosting writer workings on Wednesdays. Like, I have so many dreams, Tina. So many. My main concern is that thank you. Is that I don't think it would be totally legal to build just a pallet house to live in, because most cities/states have regulations on how you're allowed to construct houses. You would have to figure that out, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have regulations on foundations, drain fields, and stuff. Yeah, like because of where we live, if I ever wanted to add on to the house and stuff, I actually have to check how much of my property is allowed to be built on and how much has to stay yard. Because like I wanted to build a really big like master bathroom for me. with a huge ass tub. I live in LA County, and down the street is a house with the exterior of a castle. It's just a large house, 2-3 floors. They also at one point had a dragon fountain out front. I love it. Yeah. Just building a regular house, and then on the outside, it's just like your house is in a costume.
I imagined it like those old like movie sets where it's just like the board that goes down. But like the real house is underneath, but the castle is just a board.
Oh, okay. Whenever you walk from the front yard into the house, you see that little space.
Yeah.
That'd be funny. We should start our last sprint at some point.
At some
but
point,
not
yeah.
yet. Well, I have to go to the bathroom, but I also don't want to move, so I'm warring with myself. I should do a Leo timer because it's Leo season.
And also, Leo follows Cancer, so the timing is right too.
Yes.
The
I totally thought of that.
That's why I'm here. To provide the astro knowledge. It's a fun thing of like
you have just been
a lot of
stalking, like orbiting around me. You good, Fern?
It's a fun thing of like
there, and then he guarded here, and he was there. Sorry, go on.
In Greek mythology, like a lot of the like figures for the signs of like the lion, the crab, all are like based off of Greek myths, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of them are labors of Hercules, right?
Yeah, I was about to say Hercules handled so many of them.
Yeah, I don't know if all of them are, but
no,
I'd have to look. But it's a fun thing of like Leo is obviously like the Nemean lion that he like, you know, fought for several days and this whole thing. Cancer was a crab just on the beach that Hera sent after him. Just a normal sized crab. Not like just a normal, not indestructible, just a normal sized crab. And it came over and it pinched him and he stepped on it.
I was like, wow.
Hera put it in the sky as a constellation to be salty. Like, look what you did to my crab. Because usually when something is put as a constellation, it's to immortalize that creature or being. And I do like that we're up there just out of spite.
Cancer is one of my favorite stories because of that. It's just this little crab going about its day. I'll take him on for you, Hera. I got this. And Hercules kill it. He's just like, oh, shit, what was that crunch? Ew, I stepped in a crab. Hera, how could you do this to my crab? My crab will now be in the stars, Heracles. Look. Meanwhile, he's just like, ow. I don't know, stepmama. I don't know. Meanwhile, Virgo is just a giant ass question mark that people are like, there are approximately 5,000 different things Virgo could be. Pick one. Mm-hmm. I was going to say something, and then my brain just went, nope, head empty.
I was going to ask, like, is Tina's just working?
Yeah, I'm totally sketched, but I have redrawn this face 3 times. I give up. I'm going to draw it on paper. Yeah, she was. Oh, wait. Yeah, she was. She put it in the sky to be salty. Because I don't think it was explicitly like Hera's crab, but she did ask it to go after her
crab now, motherfucker.
Yeah, it volunteered to be hers.
It wanted to be the little crab that could. Now it's the little crab
Yeah.
cake. All right, so this is our final sprint of the night, y'all.
Yeah.
Like I said, brain empty. But here we go. I have to remember what I was doing. To share what just happened in my brain. I was like, I have to remember what I was doing. I looked over, I'm like, okay, the schedule's highlighted, but I already posted that. And then I looked over and I saw my little Milo Note icon for my holiday bash, which is a little chibi Link holding a present. And I was like, oh my god, that motherfucker is so adorable. All of the thoughts left my head. And then I remembered where I was. All right, so I'm gonna count us down. 3, 2, 1, go. And we're back.
We're back. I realized that Bella's last comment meant the person who wrote the myth having a pet crab who the crab of cancer was based off of, and I was like, oh. Interestingly enough, as far as I know, there's no recorded thing of crabs being pets, but apparently in ancient Greece, geese were super popular as pets, specifically as like guard dog kind of pets.
Yeah, I was about to say they make very aggressive fuckers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the fact that they're so aggressive was like part of the appeal.
Knowing geese the way that I know geese, when you were like, geese were like super popular, I was like, well, they make good guard dogs. And then you're like, especially as guards, I'm like,
But people also really just like, we have like written records of people being like, I love my goose. Like, and I think that's really sweet.
So how did everybody do that sprint? I finished updating my how about, posted my schedule to the community tab, and then continued on with my critiquing.
I went to take medications, and then I just distracted myself with reality TV.
I'm waiting for this to cool down so I can drink it. It's
nice.
It's a cinnamon honey milk tea thingy that Chris has made me for my tummy. Bella said, note to self, add that to my mythology story set in Greece. Fair enough.
Definitely, research, like, because, the ancient Greek, like, pet stuff is so interesting. Like, the ancient Greeks were actually the ones who invented, like, the spiked collar that, like, dogs wear.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's a thing of, like, there be wolves out there, so it was to protect them from wolves.
Right.
And they
tell your siblings
were some of the first
get ready for bed.
to have, like the dog's name would also be, like, potentially on the collar. And they found, like, ones that, I think there was even ones that were, like, mosaic collars, like, from, like, very, like, rich people, which is, like, damn, that's a thing for your dog. Oh, little muffin.
Can you see him? I can't see the screen.
Very void.
He's a void. I can't see anything.
You can see, like, a little bit of an ear. Yeah.
That is where he has pasta. I just realized I did not go to the bathroom.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Do you need us to vamp while you go?
No. I have an inhuman bladder. I have since I was a child. Like on road trips, my mom and grandma would stop to go to the bathroom, and I'd go like every 4 or 5 stops. So it's I forgot that I needed to go to the bathroom until just now. I'm like, oh wait, I have to pee. So like people are like, did you ever have an accident when you were pregnant? No, not a one.
Wow, nice.
I have, however, this year experienced my first time when I sneezed and I peed a little, and I was like, excuse you, we're not old. This was never a problem before. Giggles, we're doing them. So I was not pleased by that development, but yes. Note to self, add that to my, the food geek that I am looking at medieval. The food geek that I am looked at medieval food recipes.
Sweet. That is fun.
Fox, you gran, sir. How dare you? I'm upset now. I remember that happened.
The time really flew this time around.
Yeah, it did.
That's what happens when it's fun.
Yeah.
Sad days.
What the heck?
But-
We gotta stop having so much fun.
How dare you? Sam will be an amazing grandmother. Why, thank you. I am hoping not for many a year.
Yeah.
At least.
Then I will be
How old is my
a
oldest?
grand aunt. A grant, if you will.
At least not for 6 years, I hope. At least.
Oh, yeah, God.
At 6 years, my oldest will be old enough to buy his own pets. So that could be my first grandchild is a furry one.
Yeah.
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 As far as human grandchildren, I don't know. I don't know if any of my kids want kids. So I'm pretty sure my middle one's gonna want kids. No, because I don't like my children haven't expressed desire for or against children, so I try not to make comments pro or against or timelines like that. So
yeah.
But I do know my oldest will adopt furry children. Of that I have no doubt. But my middle one is like obsessed with all the babies in the family. So I don't know if he's just gonna be an amazing forever uncle or gonna want them of his own.
I recommend it. I'm not sure if I'm a forever aunt, but being an aunt / older cousin is a lot of fun.
I knew from the time I was like 3 or 4 I wanted to be a mom. So I'm like, I don't feel anybody's too young to know these things. They just haven't expressed opinions. So who's a grandma? Nobody here that I know of is a grandma. Except Fox called me a grand because I sneezed and peed this year. So a little, not a lot. That's like when my like water broke. My water broke for my oldest a little weird. It like started as a slow trickle. So when I called, I'm like, should I go in? They're like, no, you probably just peed a little. I'm like, Madame, I am 40 weeks pregnant and have not peed a little my entire pregnancy. I don't think that's what happened. And then she was like, just go to bed. It'll be fine. And then I like laid down with a towel between my leg. I wasn't laying down like 10 minutes and that towel was soaked. And I'm like pretty confident my water broke. So got a snack and learned that pallet wood is not the best thing to build a tiny house with. Fair. None of the pallets I have ever encountered were water resistant or treated for anything, now that I think about it. All right. We should do our outros. Mimi, you're in the hot seat now. Watch out.
I know. Okay.
I could take the hot seat.
No, it's all good. I'm Mimi. Thanks for having me. I'm a dark fantasy writer working on my debut novel. It's called Shadows Like Mountains. I call it my false saint whip. It's about the daughter of a saint who never inherited her powers needed to save her dying village. You can find me on all sorts of social media links in the description below. I am Mirav Levy Writes in all of them.
I put your linkaronies. I almost missed it. I was like right at the end.
Oh, there they are.
Giving your outro.
Yeah.
It was like, oh no. Because I lost my window. I have too many tabs. All the tabs. I keep opening new tabs instead of using my old ones. Like, I just lost where the stream is. There it is. All right. Once again, I'm Tina, aka Cabby. I make queer comics of the smoochy and sometimes spooky variety. I got Secret Admirer Gayness, Lesbian Vampires, Deep Sea Mermaids, much more. Everything is in the description below or on my website. And one mystery treat, Secret Admirer story that I ate cake about, is also on Webtoons. Yay!
And I am Writing Mom Smith at Alnasset. This is my channel where I talk about writer things, parent things, and writer-parent things. I host live streams like these on Mondays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we have a lot of fun. I will be hosting. I feel like the mic is so far away. I will be hosting a special guest edition of the Flash Fiction Free-for-All on August 26th. It will be our first guest edition. I'm very excited. Looking forward to seeing everyone there. Oh, it'll be at 2 p.m. instead of 7 p.m. I also have a Discord community, which you can join via my Ko-fi down below. It is the $1 a month tier. We have a lot of fun there. We hang out, chat, do things. And thank you, everybody, for coming. Thanks, my lovely guests, for being here. And we will catch y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.